Admiral Zethkar of the Vortak Empire adjusted his optical sensors for the third time, convinced there was a malfunction in his surveillance equipment. The holographic display showed the human military academy on the planet's surface below, where 200 cadet students were participating in what their instructors called a routine training exercise. Status report, he commanded his intelligence officer. Sir, the humans have designated this as a field exercise in rapid deployment tactics. Lieutenant Kixvell replied, his voice uncertain. According to intercepted communications, they're treating it as a standard graduation requirement. Zethkar's mandibles clicked with amusement. The Vortak fleet had been planning this invasion for 3 standard cycles, studying human military capabilities and waiting for the perfect opportunity. When their scouts reported that the planet's main defense garrison had been relocated for a training mission, leaving only a military school with student cadets, it seemed like a gift from the void itself. Maintain observation distance, he ordered. We'll begin the assault once we've confirmed the cadets pose no threat. That had been 57 minutes ago. Cadet Captain Maria Santos wiped sweat from her forehead as she surveyed the defensive perimeter her classmates had constructed around the academy. The surprise training exercise had caught them during their final exams, but that was the point. Real emergencies didn't wait for convenient timing. Perimeter teams, report status. She spoke into her communications device. North sector secure, came the reply from Cadet Yang. Anti-air batteries online, sensor net active. South sector reporting. Cadet Okafor's voice crackled through. Minefield deployment complete, automated turrets synchronized. East sector locked down. Cadet Volkov confirmed. EMP generators active, communication jammers ready. West sector reporting all green. Cadet Jackson finished. Orbital defense satellites linked to ground control. Maria nodded, checking her chronometer. 58 minutes since the exercise began. Not bad for a bunch of students working with training equipment. Above them, Admiral Zethkar stared at his tactical display in growing disbelief. The small academy complex had somehow transformed into a fortress that would have challenged his best siege commanders. What his sensors showed was impossible. Lieutenant, confirm these readings, he demanded. Sir, I've run diagnostics 4 times. The humans have established a defensive grid that covers 12 square kilometers. They've deployed energy shields that match our capital ship barriers, weapons batteries with firepower equivalent to a battle cruiser, and sensor nets more sophisticated than our own reconnaissance systems. That's impossible. They're students using training equipment. Sir, Kixvell continued, his voice barely concealing panic. They've also somehow established orbital weapon platforms. We're detecting at least 30 satellite defense systems that weren't there an hour ago. Zethkar's confidence began to crumble. How does a military academy have access to orbital deployment capabilities? The answer came from an unexpected source. The humans had established communication with the Vortak fleet, and a young voice filled the bridge speakers. Unknown vessels, this is Cadet Captain Santos of the Terran Military Academy. You are in violation of Academy airspace during a training exercise. Please state your intentions. Training exercise? Zethkar sputtered. This is Admiral Zethkar of the Vortak Empire. You will surrender immediately or face the consequences. There was a pause, then the sound of muffled laughter. Admiral, with all due respect, you picked a really bad time to invade. We're in the middle of our final exam in rapid response planetary defense. You're actually helping us get a better grade by providing a realistic threat scenario. This is no game, human. Oh, we know, Santos replied, her tone becoming serious. That's why we activated the real defense systems instead of the training simulators. Professor Martinez always said we should be prepared for anything during field exercises. Zethkar's tactical officer suddenly spoke up, his voice filled with dread. "Sir, I'm detecting massive energy buildups from the planetary surface. They're targeting our ships." "Impossible. Students don't have access to—" "Actually," Santos' voice interrupted, "we do. Standard Academy policy is that all training equipment must be capable of real-world deployment in case of actual emergency. We got full authorization to use any means necessary to protect Academy grounds." The display screen lit up with targeting locks as dozens of weapon systems painted the Vordak fleet. Each cadet team had somehow constructed and deployed military-grade equipment that rivaled anything the Empire possessed. "Admiral," Santos continued conversationally, "I'm required to inform you that you have 30 seconds to begin withdrawal procedures before we commence live-fire exercises. Our orbital bombardment class starts in 10 minutes, and honestly, the cadets could really use the practice." Zethkar looked at his fleet disposition, then at the impossibly sophisticated defense network the human students had constructed in less than an hour. His invasion force, planned for 3 years, was being casually threatened by children taking a test. "Signal the fleet," he said quietly. "Full withdrawal. Maximum speed." "Sir?" his lieutenant questioned. "If these are their students," Zethkar replied, watching the Academy's defense systems track his retreating ships with casual precision, "I have no desire to meet their graduates." As the Vordak fleet fled into hyperspace, Cadet Santos marked her chronometer and smiled. 59 minutes and 43 seconds from exercise start to successful threat neutralization. Professor Martinez was going to be impressed.